This morning we are talking about the cry of a nation. And to have that conversation with me this morning, I have the privilege of chatting with Bishop Basil Edwards, who
Amen.
is a spiritual minister. Good morning
Good
and
morning, my
welcome.
dear. How are we doing?
I am fine and welcome to Tobago Updates.
Thank you. My first time here, but I'm enjoying the scene. It is beautiful on the inside. And thank God for what He will do. Yeah.
Right, and tell Tobago and the wider world and our audience watching this morning,
Yes.
what exactly is the cry of a nation or the national or the nation cry?
Well, the nation cry is that the Bible placed the church in one of the high stake, that we recognize that the crimes, the different things that take place in Tobago, that we need to cry out to God for His mercy and for His grace. So most time what we see happening in our island, when an island is in a place that it look as though it's going downhill, the church needs to arise and bring it back to the place where it ought to be. You have incest, you have rape, you have murder, you have so many different things that are taking place. And therefore, our host, who is Alison Joseph, she would have liked to be here, but she's back in Trinidad, collaborating with the Church on the Rocks in Lekoto, Boko, Glamorgan, other church stakeholders and other churches in Tobago. Our main focus is to really cry out to God for our nation, because every time revival is about to take place in an island or a nation or a city, it has to do with prayer. Without prayer and what God's allowed to happen is the thing that is happening in our country. We know the churches must get together and pray and seek God and see God works on our behalf.
Right, and tell us, when would this event be happening?
Well, the event will be starting on a this Friday coming here at the library, at the Scarborough Library venue. And then you will see here it's starting at Friday the 20th, 7 p.m. And then we have Saturday, the time, the 21st, which is 6 p.m. And then we have on Thursday, Tuesday, the holiday, that we'll be having that event from 3 p.m. So we know that definitely is a cry to prayer. The word is important. And then as a result of that, we really want all stakeholders to come on board, because we see this thing happening in Fiji, when Fiji was in a desperate place where Obia and voodoo and all kind of thing take over Fiji. And the churches come together and they prayed and they seek God, and see the land was totally transformed. The land was not producing anything like food. The fishes were dying. Humans were eating human, cannibals. All these things were happening in that part of the land. But when the churches come together and they combine together, day to day, they actually rent the stadiums and they pray and seek God. And God really comes through for them.
So, is this open to all churches in
All
Tobago?
churches in Tobago.
So this would be happening at the Scarborough Library, that is this Friday night.
This Friday.
And Saturday night,
yes.
and next Tuesday.
And the next Tuesday. So what we're doing, we are trying to invite everybody to come out. It doesn't matter what religion you are in, because prayer is editable. Prayer is important. I recognize, let me just share this with you before we go on. I remember just about 3 months ago when the Lord would have said to me, let's go through Tobago for Jesus. And we would have started from Scarborough with other churches involved, and go from Scarborough to Marysville, to Plymouth, Lekoto, Golden Inn, Mariah, Castara, Palatavere, Bloody Bay, and then Lance Hobby. And then we come back to Roxborough, and then we came down the road. We had to thank God for the police. They had really did an excellent job in make sure while we are going on the road, everything was safe. But I tell you this now, we couldn't understand it until when we recognized the hurricane was coming to Tobago. So in all these places that God would have sent us in the north side of Tobago, we recognized when the Saturday hurricane was dead, the eye was dead to Tobago. If we did not pray, what would have happened to Tobago? So we prayed, and I noticed on the news, when you look at the hurricane eye and see where it was, they told us, definitely said it was dead for Tobago, but it just stands still for a little while and then shifted across to Barbados and then St. Vincent and then the other places that was damaged. I'm saying that prayer is so important. And one prayer we're not doing it, but the Bible tells us for it to happen like that, we have to first repent for our fellow men, our fellow brethren, We have to repent on behalf of our nation and our cities and our villages, and then love our brothers, and not only our brothers, those even who don't know Christ. We have to extend great compassion towards them. And I'm saying to you, this thing is going to work. But by the way, revival must start from Tobago. She may look like a small little island with all the different murders that we are having here in Tobago. But if we really decide to pray and spend time in prayer, you will see what God will do for Tobago.
Excellent. And so you are extending invitation to all of Tobago to come out on Friday night at 7 p.m., at 6 p.m. on Saturday, and Tuesday at 3 p.m. at the Scarborough Library to join in as you and your ministry and your fellow ministers come together to pray for Tobago. Well, we wish you all the best with this event. And is there anything you want to tell Tobagonians before we go out? I
want to thank God. There was a guy by the name of Dave Rabnett. He has been here for the past 3 years, 4 years. He came from Canada, and with that set mind, he said God gave him a vision to come here to let Tobagonians know that revival is in the island. Right now he's here. We also want to thank the host, Alison Joseph, who would have prayed, and her team, who would have prayed and fasted and believed God for this particular time and season. And she has been doing a tremendous work. I want to say to Tobago then, we grew up in a home where we were taught, where we learned to pray and to spend time in God. I want to say, let's get back on our knees. It's our only way up, on our knees, no other way but on our knees. On bending knees we come. So when we cry out to God, God will hear our prayer. I want to say, if we get together as a family and we continue to pray, God will make a way where there seems to be no way for us.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on here this morning. Bishop Basil Edwards, we thank you so much, and we extend greetings to your other ministers who were unable to make it to the interview this morning. Guys, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back right after this. See you soon. As the passion start to rise, the energy